To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that. Most people hear that and think it sounds empowering. But what they don't talk about is the cost. Because the moment you stop performing for approval, the moment you choose truth over popularity, you will be misunderstood, not ignored, not politely disagreed with. Misunderstood. People will question your silence. They'll mislabel your boundaries. They'll call your clarity arrogance and your peace distance. And in this video, we're going to talk about why that's not a failure. It's a sign you're finally living in alignment. Because choosing truth doesn't make you popular. It makes you free. The price of authenticity. Every person who decides to live honestly eventually pays a price. You outgrow conversations that once entertained you. You lose circles that once felt like family. You realize that many people don't want authenticity, they want agreement. They don't want truth, they want comfort. When you start speaking from your core instead of your conditioning, it disrupts the balance others depend on. People will project onto you what they can't face in themselves. They'll call your boundaries selfish. They'll call your confidence pride. But change isn't betrayal, it's evolution. That's not your fault. It's the natural tension between freedom and fear. You can't expect understanding from people still addicted to conformity. When you choose to live boldly, you stop making sense to those who survive by pretending. Daily struggles. Being misunderstood hurts because it touches the oldest wound, the fear of rejection. We all want to belong. But when your truth threatens someone's illusion, they'll distance themselves rather than evolve. You'll notice it in small ways first. Friends who go silent when you set boundaries, family members who mock your dreams, coworkers who whisper when you start growing beyond the role they assigned you. The daily struggle is learning to stay steady in your truth without needing to defend it. To stop over-explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to understand. And to let silence be your boundary. Let your silence be the sanctuary where your truth grows stronger. Not everyone will enter, but those who do will meet you where you've always belonged. Why people resist depth? Most people don't resist you. They resist what your authenticity reveals about them. It's easier for them to label you difficult than to face the truth that they're disconnected from themselves. The moment you bring light into a dark room, people squint, turn away, or tell you the light's too bright. But over time, the same light they resisted becomes the one they seek. The fear of being misunderstood. The fear of being misunderstood is powerful because it connects directly to survival. We soften the truth to protect peace. You don't have to convince anyone to understand you. You just have to keep standing where your truth is clear. The moment you stop chasing understanding, you reclaim your energy. You realize that not everyone deserves front-row access to your evolution. Some people belong to your history, not your future. Strategies for improvement. The courage to be misunderstood doesn't come from indifference. It comes from emotional maturity. You don't have to harden your heart to live authentically. You just have to stop confusing being liked with being respected. You don't need to be universally accepted. You need to be internally aligned. That shift changes everything. 1. Stop explaining yourself to the wrong people. Every time you over-explain, you hand your piece to someone who's not listening. Explanations don't heal judgment, they feed it. Learn to say, "I understand if you don't agree," and leave it there. Silence is more powerful than persuasion. 2. Build emotional resilience. When you're misunderstood, rejection triggers emotional pain. But that pain doesn't have to paralyze you. Practice grounding techniques, breathing, journaling, therapy, prayer, solitude. Learn to soothe your nervous system so you can respond, not react. The goal isn't to stop feeling, it's to stop fearing your feelings. 3. Anchor in your values. When you live by clear values, misunderstanding becomes easier to bear. You don't have to argue when your motives are rooted in integrity. Write down your non-negotiables, truth, peace, respect, love, and let them guide every decision. Emotional maturity isn't about being unaffected, It's about being unshaken. And it takes time. It takes many rejections, many lonely nights, and many moments of questioning before you arrive at that inner steadiness. It's better to be alone than surrounded by shallow and judgmental souls. And the best part, once you truly find yourself, you can't be alone anymore. 4. Surround yourself with truth tellers. Find people who speak the same language of honesty. They won't need your performance, they'll respect your presence. Even if it's just a few, these connections remind you that you're not alone in your authenticity. 5. Accept that truth is often quiet. Authentic people don't shout, they live. They don't announce every decision, they embody it. The louder you become about your truth, the more resistance you'll face. But when you simply live your truth, it becomes undeniable. 6. Let misunderstanding clarify your circle. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Misunderstanding often reveals who's aligned and who's attached. Let it clarify your circle, not crush your spirit. Some people were drawn to your performance, not your presence. When you stop performing, they leave. Let them. Because the ones who remain and the ones who arrive will meet you in truth, not expectation. If any part of this is hitting closer than you expected, and you're realizing how often you've stayed silent just to stay accepted, I made something to help. It's a free set of chapter previews and clarity prompts, designed to help you strengthen your inner truth, set boundaries without guilt, and stop explaining yourself to people who aren't listening. You'll find the link in the description. The power of standing alone. There's a unique peace that comes when you stop needing agreement. You realize that solitude isn't punishment, it's clarity. It's the moment you stop negotiating your truth for comfort and start honoring it as sacred. When you stand alone in your truth, you start attracting people who align with it naturally. You stop chasing shallow approval and start experiencing deep respect. Standing alone doesn't mean isolation, it means integrity. You're not withdrawing from connection, you're refusing to fake it. And the best part, once you truly stand in your truth, you're never really alone again, because your presence becomes magnetic. And I'd love to know this. What's one truth you've stopped explaining just to be accepted? Drop it in the comments. Your honesty might give someone else permission to live theirs. The freedom beyond validation. When you no longer depend on validation, you start living from conviction. You stop editing your personality to fit social norms. You stop apologizing for your strength. You stop dimming your light for people still afraid of brightness. And something powerful happens. You start trusting yourself again. That self-trust becomes your compass. You realize you don't need to be understood, you just need to be aligned. And alignment, once found, becomes its own kind of freedom. The strength in misunderstanding. Being misunderstood means you've stopped speaking the language of pretense. It means you've stepped into originality. Every great thinker, creator, and leader was misunderstood at first because they saw what others couldn't. Visionaries often appear arrogant to those who can't see their vision. Depth often appears dangerous to those who fear introspection. Your clarity will always threaten confusion, and your boundaries will always offend those who benefited from your lack of them. So when people misread your silence, your boundaries, your truth, let them. You're not here to convince them. You're here to live fully. The emotional tools of grounded authenticity. To live this way, you need emotional tools, not just inspiration. Inspiration lifts you. Tools sustain you. And when the world misunderstands you, it's the tools that keep you steady. Discernment. Learn to recognize when criticism is projection. Not all feedback deserves attention. Some opinions are reflections of their fear, not your truth. Detachment. Not every misunderstanding requires resolution. Peace doesn't always mean reconciliation. Let go of the need to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding. Grace. Understand that others are doing the best they can within their awareness. You don't have to hate them to move on. Compassion doesn't mean access, it means release. Self-validation. When you know your intentions are pure, external misunderstanding loses power. Your clarity becomes your anchor when the world feels stormy. choosing truth over popularity. Popularity is easy, it's just agreement in disguise. Truth, on the other hand, costs something. It costs comfort, approval, and sometimes belonging, but it also gives you something far greater: peace. The people who crave popularity often live in fear of silence. They rely on constant validation to confirm their identity. But the people who choose truth find peace in solitude. They're not driven by applause because they've already accepted themselves. The quiet reward. After the initial sting of misunderstanding fades, what's left is freedom. You wake up lighter because you're no longer editing yourself to fit expectations. You stop second-guessing your intuition. You stop chasing clarity from those who benefit from your confusion. There's quiet joy in walking through life without pretending. There's peace in knowing you can survive disapproval. There's strength in realizing that not everyone needs to understand your path, only you do. Because once you've found your truth, you're never truly alone again. Your peace becomes your presence, and your presence becomes your path. This video draws directly from the core teachings in the Unfollowed Path. Escape the trap of cultural expectations, inherited scripts, and performative success, crafted to help you deconstruct external definitions of success and rediscover who you are beneath them. Remember this: your truth doesn't need permission. Your silence can be strength. And being misunderstood is not failure, it's freedom. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe.